I want to preface this first by saying I don't know if this reboot is intended to be a remake of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series or something that is truly brand new and they just use the same suits, or if those suits are just fan made and added there to show what Rangers those actors are playing. If it is truly original, then I have no problems with it. I think a lot of times certain people hear that there are those of us who don't care for changes being made to original source material, or, material that existed in one form and now has assumed another, and all they see is gender. But they don't consider the possibility that what we don't like is characters that already exist being changed fundamentally instead of creating brand new ones. That's where I stand. I do not want Jason to just be made into a female version of the character. That's lazy, and I don't promote laziness. Be creative, have passion for your work, for the story you're trying to tell. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a female Red Ranger. But a female Jason? No. I wouldn't even have a problem with a female character who takes on the same mantle, the same Red Ranger mantle that Jason had. Especially if she was his daughter. That I'm perfectly fine with. But do not make this a swap. It's so lazy and overdone. It's just exhausting. And they just don't get it through their heads. And it's the same problem with Snape and Harry Potter. Nobody has a problem with. The only reason why people have a problem with that casting is because it's going to be unintentionally insulting to the character. It's going to turn him into something that he's not. Sorry, not turn him into something. It's going to create this idea that isn't intended to exist. Thank you. Is it Giles Amy? There have been female Rangers that I thought were excellent leaders. Granted, neither of them are Red Rangers, but they could have easily fit into that role. There's, God, what's her name? There's the Pink Ranger from Time Force. She's amazing. There's the Yellow Ranger from Wild Force. Granted, she can be a jerk at times, but you know, they very much feel like leaders. Um, I haven't seen the series where there's a female Red Ranger, mostly because I'm not interested in newer seasons. Um, but I mean, you know, just to name some female Rangers that I like quite a bit. There's Cassie from Turbo, even though I don't really like Turbo for the most part. I do enjoy her character. I also like Ashley. Um, I like Andros' sister, who becomes a ranger, at least temporarily, in Lost Galaxy. I've already mentioned the Yellow Ranger from Wild Force. I like Tori quite a bit. I like God, why can't I remember her name? Is it Kira from Dino Thunder? Uh, yes, Sammy. Okay, I will do that. Who else? Who else? Did I mention the Yellow Ranger from SPD? I like her quite a bit. So yeah, there's a number of female Rangers that I'm a fan of. I never really cared for Kimberly. I like Trini well enough. Uh, Never cared for the one who takes over for Kimberly. Um, but yeah, I think Power Rangers as a franchise has some very strong female characters. And I truly hope that this isn't a gender swap. Because once again, it's lazy. You don't need to change an existing character to be female. Create your own. Make a new set of suits, Zords, and powers that aren't from Super Sentai. Just use it as inspiration. Create something truly original for the Power Rangers brand. I think we'd all love that. And can we stop with the insulting of each other? Can we stop insulting each other? Because oh, we don't like changes to already existing characters. It's childish. There is nothing sexist whatsoever about disliking uh, a fan favorite being changed because it's just unnecessary. It doesn't make your story better or any better just because the character is now female. It doesn't. It makes it political when it shouldn't be. I don't follow sports. Sorry. This is also not really the place for sports. Well, it's not a place for sports because of that. Now, let's assume that this is going to be an original production. I would love to see, and ironically enough, this was actually a fan idea I had once, for a team of Rangers whose suits and abilities are all based upon ancestors of theirs. In the beginning, there was a Red Ranger who's male, and his ancestor is a Spartan warrior. But then later on, a descendant of King Arthur's joins the team and takes over, and that descendant is female. Accompanying her is a descendant of Merlin, who was male. I would love to see something like that, where maybe the leader, who is female, is descended from King Arthur, and you know becomes Red Ranger or becomes whatever color would fit King Arthur. And you don't have to call her give her a female derivative of Arthur. Call her like I don't know. You could call her Terra. So yeah, really hoping that's not going to be the case. But then again, the showrunner is the same one who did the Percy Jackson series, and that has the same issue. As an aspiring writer myself, I would be furious if somebody wanted to adapt it and change the way the characters look on a fundamental level. It's fine if you're an author and don't care. That's your prerogative. But if you're a creator, you should want them to use their own imaginations and come up with their own stories, taking inspiration from stories that came before. I want to be excited for this, but I can't if it's just going to be the same old modern day Disney, where they just think that changing the way a character looks improves it. It doesn't. It's just there. And I understand the reasoning. But again, I think it's much better if these actresses and actors are given their own roles to play. A character that they can truly be associated with. So, yeah, that's more or less my thoughts. Also, anyone who comments, either during the stream or after, please be respectful. Notice that I have not said anything insulting towards um, any actors or writers. If you disagree, you disagree. Let's not make this into a rage fest. Because I've had people tell me that I don't like female characters just because I dislike certain female characters. Or I criticized, uh, was it a female character? Was it a male character being changed into a female character? Something like that? Yeah. And it's like, no, you're just looking at it. You're just looking at it based on face value, not. We need to cut that out. It's not civilized. If Luke Skywalker was female and people had a problem with it, don't look at it as though they dislike female characters. No, they just don't like characters being changed. Because it's unnecessary, as I've said at least 2 or 3 times in this stream. I will say this. well, I do want to say this too. I don't think ranger suits need to appear quote unquote feminine just because the wearers of those suits are female. Female Red Rangers don't need to have skirts on their suits. They're basically battle armor. If female soldiers, or whatever the correct term would be, wouldn't wear skirts during in a war zone, then there's no reason why a female Power Ranger has to wear a skirt. Show what? Now, I will try to be optimistic and wait for a trailer to come related to this series. And when it comes, I'll give my thoughts on it. Also, if anyone here would be interested, I'll be seeing Toy Story 5 in theaters. I want to say next week or the following week. If you would like to see me review it or give my thoughts on it, I'd be happy to do so. I'll also put in the title for this stream that I'm considering reviewing Toy Story 5 after I see it. And possibly even Doomsday, if people are interested. Um, so yeah, I guess that's about it. Would you? Oh, another thing. Would anyone like to see me potentially review season 2 of Avatar: Last Airbender live action, and maybe even Harry Potter? God, edit speed. Hello, how are you? Also, Beluiness YT. I think that's gonna wrap it up, though. Well, thank you so much for your sub, God Edit Speed. Are there any topics you'd like to see me get into, related to, like, I guess it would be pop culture, like movies, fandom films, games, anime, cartoons in general. I've started rewatching Beast Wars again. Um, I don't really follow Pokemon anymore, but I used to be a pretty big fan of it. And I don't know a thing about Clash Royale. I think I've heard the name though. If I can come up with ideas for topics that I can say enough things about, then sure, I'll definitely do that. But I tend to run out of things to say. That's why if a stream goes on for too long, it just becomes a bunch of dead air. Why though? Because that's not on topic for my channel. Going from a penny to a car? What? I don't get that. Write, play games, exercise, try to keep myself as stress free as possible. And that's about it, really. Uh, a few days ago, I started writing an outline for this book I'll be writing. So once I've completed the planning, I don't think I'll do that, but that does sound like an interesting concept. I will keep you all updated. Well, and someday I'll reveal the story after it's been finished. Um, so yeah. Um, but all that being said, folks, thank you for joining me once again. Yeah, if you have any thoughts, if you disagree, or you just want to say hi or comment anything, please do so. And if you like the stream or any of my past streams, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. And with that, I do believe Tony Stark wants to say something. The truth is, I am Iron Man.